Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Mental Health Minute with Jay. And just on last week, I lost someone that was very special to me. And I definitely found myself going through the process of grief. And absolutely, grief is a process. And it's made me start to think about good grief versus bad grief. And is there such thing even as a good way to grieve versus a bad way to? And I don't necessarily want to get into the specifics about one way is better than another way. There are different steps to the grieving process, and one person might stay on one step more than another person. So there's not one set way to grieve. We all grieve in our own way. But I would say that a bad way to grieve is just to be dishonest about what you're feeling. Because a lot of times we may find ourselves living up to other people's preconceived ideas or expectations about the proper way to grieve. And we're not actually being true to who we are and what we're feeling because we're going off of their expectations. That's the only time that I would really say that that's a bad or a quote unquote wrong way to grieve. We have to be honest about what we're feeling. And if we need help, we need to seek that help. If we find ourselves, really struggling with feeling sadness or depression, um, I always believe the first place that you start is with going to God and praying. One of my favorite scriptures is Matthew 11:28, and it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." You know, Coming to Him, first of all, whenever you come to God, you need to be honest and tell Him exactly what you're going through and what you need deliverance from and what you need encouragement through. You have to absolutely start with being honest, and then He will give you that rest, and He will deliver you. But the only way to go through that is to first start out with being honest. And if there are also times when you need to see someone, you need to see a professional even, then that's what you need to do. And the only thing that I would suggest is number one, doing the proper research, make sure the person is accredited, and make sure that, this is someone that you believe you would be compatible with, but don't just stew and don't just assume that things will get better on its own and things will just go away with time. If you are struggling, just admit it. Don't be concerned with, what other people are thinking. In this world today, we are definitely way too overly consumed with what other people are thinking. In this world where everything is about likes and about other people's approval, we have a tendency to not stay true to who we are and true to ourselves and true to what we're actually feeling because we're going off of what we think other people expect. And if we do that, we are never going to be who we are purposed, called, and designed to be. You absolutely have to be honest about where you are, even when you're struggling in something, especially when you are struggling in something. It's the only way to get through it, and it's the only way to get the help that you need. So just remember, grief is a natural process that we all need to go through, but we need to be honest with the process and throughout the process and get the help that we need. See you next time.